Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board Qatar Airways. As you find your seat, we ask that you place larger items in the overhead compartment and lighter sized belongings, including duty-free bags and liquids under the seat in front of you. Our cabin crew are available to assist. Thank you. Crew, all customers on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all of our customers aboard now. Please do keep your seatbelt fastened at all times, even if we have the seatbelt sign switched off. I'll speak to you again prior to our descent, and I'll update you on the arrival time and the weather. In the meantime, please make yourself comfortable and welcome aboard.
Congrats, the aircraft is now ready for departure. Manifest all ground crews note to please kindly disembark the aircraft. Also requesting all customers to please take your assigned seats now in preparation of closing of blast doors for departure. Thank you.
Taxi to and hold
Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm your cabin senior. On behalf of Qatar Airways, the One World Alliance, and the rest of the cabin crew team, it is my pleasure to welcome you on board Qatar Airways. We would like to extend a special welcome to our privileged club members and also to members of One World Frequent Flyer program traveling with us today. Customers interested in joining our award-winning program may enroll online by visiting the website www.qmiles.com. This aircraft is equipped with the Oryx-1 in-flight entertainment system. The onboard connectivity facility will be available shortly after takeoff. Please be informed that smoking and use of electronic cigarettes is not permitted anywhere on board this aircraft. In preparation for departure, we ask that you switch your phones to fly safe mode and ensure that your seatbelt is fastened at this time. We would like to remind you to keep your personal valuables such as wallets, jewelry and electronic devices safe at all times. As we consider your safety to be of the utmost importance, could you please give your attention to the safety video being screened? Please be informed that smoking and use of electronic cigarette is not permitted anywhere on board this aircraft. We would also like to remind you to keep your personal valuables such as wallets, jewelry and electronic devices safe at all times. Thank you for your attention.
سيدتي وسادتي أسعد الله صباحكم بكل خير. يبدأ خطوط الجوية القطرية تحرك العالم القطري. نود أن نرحب بحضرة السادة أعضاء نادي الامتياز وتحرك العالم الواحد توفيق. النادي الامتياز هو برنامج مكافآت لحضرات المسافرين على مدى الخطوط الجوية القطرية. للاشتراك يرجى الاستفسار من أحد أفراد طاقم الضيافة. كما نود أن نذكر حضراتكم بأن التدخين واستخدام سجائر إلكترونية غير مسموحا به على متن هذه الرحلة. إن سلامتكم على متن الطائرة هي من أهميتنا، لذا نرجو من حضراتكم الانتباه على الشريط الذي سوف يعرض عن السلامة العامة. شكرا.
Cabin crew on doors for departure caution.
Welcome aboard this Qatar Airways flight. Please pay attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. For your comfort and safety, we operate a non-smoking policy on board all our aircraft. Smoking in the toilet will activate a smoke alarm, and tampering with the smoke detector is a criminal offence. The exits and walkways must be kept clear of baggage at all times. Baggage should be securely stowed in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. For safety reasons, with the exception of handheld pegs in flight mode, the use of electronic devices is not permitted for takeoff and landing. These devices must remain switched off until you are advised by your cabin crew. Please fasten your seatbelt for takeoff and landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. To unfasten, lift the flaps and pull the ends apart. If you plan to sleep during the flight, please make sure your seatbelt is fastened and visible to cabin crew. The cabin environment is carefully controlled. If oxygen is required, masks will appear from above you, or you may be required to release the mask by pulling on the coloured flag marked "Pull." Pulling the mask towards you will activate the oxygen supply. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, adjust the band to secure it, and breathe normally. When your mask is fitted correctly, you may assist others. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing, we switch off the brake position as shown on the screen. Your life jacket is either beside or underneath your seat. When instructed by the crew, remove it from its container and put it over your head. Bring the tape around your waist and fasten in front, pulling firmly to secure. Only inflate your life jacket when you are leaving the aircraft by pulling the two red toggles sharply downwards. You can also inflate or top up the life jacket by blowing into the mouthpiece. The life jacket has a whistle to attract attention, and a light that will automatically illuminate when in water. Instant life jackets will be distributed by the cabin crew. Please take a moment to locate the emergency exit nearest to your seat. The emergency exits are clearly marked and are located as shown on the screen. Escape path
Sharjah Tower,
lighting will
Qatari
guide you to the
112 tree
emergency
ready
exit.
at runway tree 0
In case
departure
of
to the west.
emergency landing on water, the evacuation
Qatari
slide will
112
serve
tree
as well.
Windcom departure to the west
Please
approved.
remember to remove footwear
Cleared for
before
takeoff runway
using the
tree 0.
slide. To remind yourself of the safety aspects of this aircraft,
Cleared for takeoff
please
runway
read the
tree
safety
0
card
Qatari
which is in your
112
seat
tree.
pocket. And if you have any questions, our cabin crew will be happy to help. To help the cabin crew with final preparations for takeoff, please ensure your seat is in a fully upright position, your window blind is open, your tray table is folded away, and your seatbelt is fastened. Thank you for your attention, and enjoy your flight with Qatar Airways.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain.
Qatari 112 tree continue for west departure.
Sharjah Tower, Qatari 112 tree, continue for west departure.
Qatari 112 tree leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Sharjah Tower, Qatari 112 tree frequency change. Approach Qatari 112 tree is type Airbus A20N 5 miles west of Sharjah 1,300 feet. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Qatari 112 tree approach. Squawk 5751.
Squawk 5751 Qatari 112 tree.
Qatari 112 tree radar contact 6 miles west of Sharjah 1,600 feet. Clear through the Charlie airspace. Maintain on navigation.
Cleared through the Charlie airspace, Qatari 112 tree.
Simrate 1.
The captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. For your continued safety, we would like you to keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign will be turned off shortly. We recommend, however, that you keep your seatbelt loosely fastened at all times during the flight. If you're using a blanket, we kindly ask that you fasten your seatbelt over your blanket so it is visible. We invite you to browse through extravaganza or in-flight duty-free catalog, which is in your seat pocket. Our in-flight meal service will come in shortly. Please refer to your personal menu card for more details. If there is anything that we can do to make your flight more comfortable, please feel free to let us know. Thank you.
سيدتي وسادتي، بعد قليل سوف تطفئ شاطئ تحزمة المقاعد. بسلامتكم رجاء من حضراتكم قطع الأحزمة مربوطة وظهروا لطاقم الطائرة في حال استخدامكم البطانيات. بعد قليل سوف نقدم لكم وجبة الصباح، كما أنني مع باقي أفراد الطاقم على تم الاستعداد لتلبية طلباتكم على مدار الرحلة. شكرا. سيدتي، علم طفلان هي مبادرة تدعم الخطوط الجوية القطرية وتهدف إلى توفير التعليم لابتداء الأطفال المحرومين من التعليم الأساسي. يبلغ عدد الأطفال المحرومين من التعليم الابتدائي 58 مليون طفلا حول العالم. يعيش هؤلاء الأطفال في دول تعاني من الفقر والتمييز والنزاعات والكوارث الطبيعية. سنكون شاكرين لكم لو تكرمتم بدعم هذه المبادرة من خلال تبرعاتكم، والتي يمكنكم وضعها في المغلفات المتوفرة في جيوب المقاعد التي أمامكم. سيقوم أحد أفراد الطاقم بالضيافة بسلامها منكم. شكرا.
1123 contact Emirates Center on 124.85. Good day.
124.85, Qatari 112 tree. Goodbye. Emirates Center, Qatari 112 tree, 7,600 feet.
Qatari 112 tree, Emirates Center altimeter 29.9 radar contact continue. Emirates Center, Egypt Air 1914 is passing flight level 215, climbing flight level 240. Egypt Air 1914, Emirates Center radar contact continue. Egypt Air 1914 climb and maintain flight level 300. Climb and maintain flight level 300, Egypt Air 1914. Arabia 625 descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Descend and maintain 2,000 feet, Arabia 625. contact Bahrain Center on 126.7. Good day.
Going to 126.7 Qatari 112 tree. Bahrain Center, Qatari 112 tree, 12,300 feet.
Qatari 112 tree Bahrain Center altimeter 29.902 radar contact. Continue. Qatari 112 contact Doha approach on 124.775. Good day.
Going to 124.775 Qatari 112 tree. Doha approach, Qatari 112 tree 7,000 feet.
Qatari 112 Doha approach altimeter 29.902 radar contact. Continue.
Simrate 1. 1,500.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, the captain speaking. Very shortly beginning our descent. We trust you've enjoyed the flight. Thanks for choosing to fly with us. On behalf of myself and the crew, I'd like to wish you a very pleasant stay, or indeed a very safe onward journey. And we'll see you on board again very soon. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we've now commenced our descent, we require that you return to your seat, ensure that your hand baggage is either restowed beneath your seat or in the overhead lockers, your tray table and seat backs are in the upright position, and your seatbelt is securely fastened. Thank you.
بالنظر إلى أننا بدأنا في الهبوط، نطلب منكم أن تعودوا إلى مقاعدكم وتتأكدوا من أن أمتعتكم اليدوية مخزنة إما تحت المقعد وإما في الخزائن العلوية، وأن منضدة الصينية مطوية ومثبتة، وظهر المقعد في وضع قائم، وحزام المقعد مربوط بإحكام. شكرا.
Sim rate 1. Sim rate 2.
500. 400. 300.
Sim rate 1.
100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off. Please ensure that you have all your personal belongings with you as you leave the aircraft. Also remember that smoking is only permitted in designated areas. You may now use your mobile and electronic devices if you wish to do so. We hope that you will include Qatar Airways in your future travel plans. To book your next flight, please visit QatarAirways.com. On behalf of Qatar Airways, the One World Alliance, and the rest of the cabin crew team, we wish you a pleasant day or a safe journey to your final destination. Qatar Airways going places together. Thank you.
سيدتي وسيدتي أهلا وسهلا. الرجاء تأكد من أخذ جميع أمتعتكم قبل مغادرة الطائرة. يمكنكم الآن استخدام هاتفكم الجوال إذا كنتم ترغبون بذلك. لا يمكنكم التدخين إلا في الأماكن المخصصة لذلك في المطار. لحجز رحلتك القادمة الرجاء زيارة موقعنا qatarways.com. فنحن نتمنى لكم رحلة آمنة وممتعة، خطوط جوية قطرية معنا لكل مكان. شكرا مرتبا نهار.
To disarm doors for arrival caution.
Ground Qatari 112 tree taxi to the gate.
Qatari 112 Tree taxi to gate Bravo 7 using taxiway Alpha 4 Bravo Alpha Tree Echo 1.
Taxiing to gate Bravo 7 via taxiway Alpha or Bravo Alpha Tree Echo 1 Qatari 112 Tree.